Hello, Bugra. How's it going? Oh, you know what? I can put some music on too. I'll put some music for put some finals music on. Oh, it's playing. It's just really quiet. Okay. Okay. Doing good? Cool, cool, cool. Alright. We'll wait for more people to come in here. Alright, so today we will be repairing my mouse. And I'm just trying to make sure I have everything that I need. Pretty sure I've got everything. But we'll see when the time comes. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, this is kind of loud. Hold on, let me turn it down. What's wrong with the mouse? I will show you. Streams audio. What is it? What's it complaining about? Streams current bitrate is lower than recommended bitrate. What do you mean? I always use this bitrate for audio, or this. But it's fine. What is this complaining about? All right. All right. Whatever. We have some people in here, so let's get to it. So, hello there. So, here's the deal with the mouse. We are on a website called Fractal Glider. .github.io, and this shows it says testing the mouse scroll wheel, right? So it's a little program or a little website that's made so you can test your scroll wheel. So if you put your mouse inside of here and you scroll up or down, it's supposed to go up or down. And my scroll wheel right now, you can see I'm scrolling and it's not going, like sometimes it's going down. It's like, it's not really going anywhere, right? It's like supposed to go down or up, and it used to go up or down incorrectly, but now it just doesn't like want to go anywhere. Like it like doesn't want to go anywhere. You can see that it's like barely moving. And so let me show you what a normal mouse. I'm going to take my girlfriend's mouse here and plug it into my computer. I disconnect mine, and I'll show you exactly what it's supposed to do. So I plugged in my girlfriend's mouse now, and look, if I'm scrolling up, it's scrolling up perfectly with no issues. Scroll down, it's scrolling down, no issues, right? So that is the issue. My mouse does not do any of that. My mouse does not function the way it's supposed to function. So we are going to change that. We're going to fix it. And how are we going to fix it? Well, we have scroll wheel encoders. I bought 3 different types, 2 of each, and we're going to try and see how the silver feels, I think. Although I don't remember if the silver is dust free, if the gold is dust free, if they're both dust free. Oh, I think they're okay. I think the silvers. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Okay, so I bought dust free silver and dust free silver / white and dust free gold. And so here's what they look like. I'll make the mouse cam bigger actually right now in a second. Let's turn this one on, and then we'll adjust this one here. So let's just like expand this shit. Just full screen this for you guys, because you're gonna need to be able to see everything I'm doing anyways. How much? Let's see. I can't really go any further down either, so we'll just have to zoom it in. And I think that's about centered. Somewhere around there. Anyways, all right. Let me show you again. I could also move my mouse cam closer, which should make it look better, so I might do that in the future, but just really quick. We have the silver and the gold. Or sorry, that's not the gold. The gold is over here. So we have the silver, the gold, and I don't know what that one is. It's like a blue or something. You can see the top of it is kind of closed. That's the dust free, and then you can see this one is kind of open, so it's not dust free. So like dust could get in there. So we're not going to use that one. We're going to try and see how the gold or the silver feels. Now they do have different feels, so that's why I got different ones. Also, what's up, Tez? Is the music too loud? Let me just make sure. I think the music's all right. All right. So let's put those back in the bag for now. And I can tilt my camera a little bit lower maybe for you guys, but it might be a little bit let me bring it down. I'll lock this in place. And then now I can zoom out the camera. It should be able to make this larger here. Yep. A little more. Let's see, where's the screen? Okay, right about there. Kind of bring it in like this, and there we go. You guys should be able to see everything pretty clearly now once I start working. So now what I need to do, I need to clear off my mouse pad, all my keyboard and all that stuff to make space for my soldering equipment and whatever. So I'm just gonna put that on the floor. Put this back here somewhere. Just go on the floor as well. Yeah, we'll disconnect the mouse in a second. How long have I had this mouse? Probably like, no, it's less than 2 years, bro. Less than 2 years. There's nothing underneath. Okay, there's nothing underneath. Sometimes I put like stickers and things underneath. All right, here's my wooden table. You see it's kind of banged up and dented from doing stuff on it. Now, so here's my little silicone mat to work on. So we'll just unplug this. Fix my mouse cam, it's a little crooked. All right. So we're gonna unplug that, so it doesn't. So when I'm clicking and doing whatever, it doesn't mess with things. I'm gonna move my mic over to the side here. Just let me know if you guys have trouble hearing me. I can try and adjust it a little bit. So basically, we gotta open this up. I've got a knife fix-it kit. Just comes with, like, you know, tools and stuff. This uses a like a hex type thing, and it's like a small one. I think it's this size. So now the screws are all underneath the mouse pad, my mouse skates. Also, these are the holes that I drilled out myself. They're like to make it a little bit more lightweight. I could probably do more somewhere, but for now, that's kind of what I did. You can see the underside when I open it, but so we got to get these mouse gates off, and I use tweezers for that. I've already taken them off a couple times, so they're not too hard to take off. And I do oh, it's right here. It's on my desk. All right. And so I do have this tape, right? This is transfer tape. It's just basically double-sided tape. In the case that I need to replace the stickiness on these, I can. On the mouse skates, I can. Now, I haven't had to do it yet, but I'm sure at some point they will just give out for me taking it apart so many times. That way I don't have to keep buying the skates, you know? The skates are fine. It's just the adhesive, so. So we're just gonna take the tweezers and try not to mar the plastic. And we're just kind of gonna... Let me see. Hold on. It's kind of hard because this edges of the tweezers are kind of... One edge of my tweezers are kind of bent, so I have to use the... I have to try and use the other one. Okay, there we go. So we got under it. And we're just lifting it off. Oh. It went back on. Alright. So that's the bottom one. Trying to get too much dirt on it as I touch it with my finger. So we'll put it over here. Now we gotta take off these other two. Like I said, gotta be kind of somewhat gentle. Try not to mar the plastic. And by mar, I mean just try not to like dent the plastic with like the force you're applying. But also I don't want to damage the skates themselves. There we go, and I set these aside up here. I could put them like here, but this is going to be for my screws and stuff, and I want them out of the way. So, you'll see now there's 4 screws. And you have this like skate here, but that one doesn't block anything. So, you don't have to worry about that. Where did I put my... Oh, it's right here. Okay. So now we gotta unscrew this. And so these little squares are still... It's a tight fit of like... Okay, there we go. Those squares are so you can just organize your... Ooh, I don't like the way that's doing that. Oh, this is actually... Maybe this one's too small? That's weird. I'm pretty sure I use that. Hopefully the screws aren't stripping. Okay, I don't... No, okay, I was just using it too small of a bit. Which all can cause screws to strip, so... Wait, let's take those 4 off. And we'll keep those aside there. And now, I've taken this apart a few times, so like you don't really need to have like super specific tooling for this, but so basically I'm just kind of pulling it apart. The lighting on the camera is kind of weird. Maybe if I remove my ND filter. Sorry if that's making noise. Okay, I think that helped. Yeah, a little bit. So if you kind of like press it, you can get this little crack. You can kind of get your nail in there, and then you can kind of pop it open. You see it popped open, and then there we go. So the mouse is open. You can see it's still on. I could have turned it off, but now this is the battery here. So I just unplug the battery from this little connector, and then now it's off. Now that's the first thing you want to do. And then this is held on by like adhesive as well to this little like plastic, this little plastic piece. And so I've taken it off multiple times, so it's not too hard to take off. You see the adhesive is kind of reusable, so I'll set that aside over there. This is the top shell. You've never seen inside of a mouse. I mean, this mouse in particular, that's what it looks like. Like the mouse like trigger or like parts are right here, so you just kind of see they're screwed in, but don't have to mess with those really. We'll leave that up there. The bottom, this is the mouse. See, there's your side buttons. There's the scroll wheel, and there's the piece that we'll be replacing. This red one. This is the one that I already replaced one time. It replaced it from a different mouse, and it was working fine in that mouse, and then it just gave out when I put it in this one. So I'm not sure if that was because the installing it damaged it somehow, or if it's just the mouse is doing something weird with the voltage or the amount of like voltage it's sending to the switch or to the encoder or what. But Yeah. Anyways, so now we have to swap from our hex bit or whatever the hell. Yeah, it's a hex one, I think. Swap from our hex bit over to a Phillips. And I think this is the size. I might need to go one up. Because you can see there's... I feel like I might have lost the screw at one point, not going to lie. But I think there's supposed to be 3 in here, but I think I'm missing one. Not sure, though. So there's one here, and there's one here. This one holds like a little platform for the battery to sit on. We probably don't need to remove that right now, unless it's keeping the motherboard in. I think it is, actually. So we do have to remove that one. We'll remove this one. And it seems like that was the right size, or at least good enough. I will set those aside there in the other little square. Move this. And then, so here's the little plate that the battery sits on. We'll set that there. Because that's where the battery was, right? And then there's little, it's like, the motherboard's like clipped in on the side here. Kind of hard to see, but it's clipped in on the side. So you kind of have to like bend that clip out to allow the board to pop out as well. So there we go, I kind of did it. And you have to be careful as well with these side buttons. They're connected by a little ribbon cable right there. Ribbon cables are very fragile, so you don't want to, you want to be pretty gentle with it as to not put it in a weird position and whatever. Now, I am going to unplug the ribbon cable. I don't love unplugging that one because it's kind of hard to get it in, but it's just, I don't want to damage it when I'm soldering, so we'll unplug it. That way it doesn't get accidentally burned or something by the solder when I'm, the soldering iron when I'm working. But these, so you can see that we have switches now that are kind of right next to both sides of the scroll wheel. And on this side, you have the right click switch, but you also have a switch that is works as the switch when you push down the scroll wheel, because you have the click on the scroll wheel. So that is the switch. It's kind of, that's a little black switch right there. You see, you push down, and this piece pushes into it, and that's how you get that click. So we're not going to mess with that, but what we need to do is that these switches for the left and right clicks are kind of hot swap in a way. So they have little clips on the undersides of them, and you can actually just pop them out. There we go. And so we'll set that aside over here. We'll have the left and then the right. This is, of course, like I said, this is just to make sure we don't damage them, but also so we just have a little bit more clearance. So I'll keep those separate too, so I know which ones are which. And now we're coming down to, we just have to take off the mouse wheel, so we just pull that out. Just pulled it out that way. There's the mouse wheel. Sometimes that gets a little like dust and hair in it, but it's pretty clean. So now we're down to the pretty bare board here. And we have this kill switch. This is the scroll wheel encoder. And it's connected by 3 solder joints that have the actual like power, ground, and whatever. And then you have 2 mounting solder points there. So what I need to do is desolder all those so that I can remove it. Now these are kind of annoying to get off, not gonna lie. So we might struggle a little bit. But I've kind of found like a cheap way of doing it. If I just get most of the solder off, and then I clip it with some flush cutters, and then I just kind of heat it and wiggle it out, I'll be able to get it out. And then the installation of the new one is relatively easy. And we can double check right now too to make sure. I ordered the right size. I'm like 99% confident, because I looked up the specs on the mouse to make sure. And that looks like about the right height. So we're good. So we'll leave that one there. We'll try the silver/white. Also, if you want to look at the inside of the mouse here, this is kind of, I drilled from the inside so that it was going to be cleaner on the outside, smooth on the outside. I had to still finish up the outside because the excess plastic that got heated and stuff came out that side, but yeah. So you can see why I drilled where I did, because I was trying to drill around all these walls and brackets and posts, screw posts and things. So That's why it was a kind of looks kind of like a random pattern, but it's not necessarily random. Yeah. So we're gonna move that to the side as well. We're actually moved that way to the side because I don't want to accidentally burn those things either with my soldering iron. We kind of need to make sure we have as much space free here to make sure nothing gets damaged that we don't want to have damaged. So we'll just do all that. Also, my thing comes also with like a screw tray, but I have it on here, so a little easier that way. So the next we have to set up our equipment. I have like, this is an extraction fan. This is gonna, when you solder, there's a lot of bad fumes you don't want to be breathing in. So this is gonna suck up the fumes. You know, it's got a filter here, and you know, this fan in there. Switch it on. So I can plug that in over here real quick. And then we'll get our soldering iron here. There's our soldering iron. And this is how you heat up the solder, how do you loosen things and mount things to the board. So we'll have that there. That's my normal spot, and then we'll plug that in as well. And it's important that when you're doing this kind of stuff, you have to have a well-ventilated area. Now, I have a window right next to me, like right over here. And then I have a window back this way, so I have two windows. So I'll open both windows so I have a nice, like, circulation in the room. But I'll also have a fan going behind me. And that is a dual-purpose fan, because what I'll do is I'll have that fan to just circulate more air in the room, but also to, in case I'm soldering on the board and I'm just applying a lot of heat to the board, you don't want to apply too much heat to the board and damage the board. So I'll take this and just like, as an example, not this fan, the other fan, but I'll just put it in front of the fan, and just to cool off the board, put it in front of it for like 30 seconds to a minute. Let it cool off, and then we'll continue working because we don't want to damage the board. Now let me open my other window real quick. Now because my windows are open, you might hear cars and whatever else going on, so just yeah, ignore that. Put this over here. Just want to cover my ND filter so dust doesn't get on top of it. All right, so let's talk about the soldering iron for a second. You can set the temperature, blah blah blah. We have this gold, like, it's not gold, it's just like wire basically, and that is to clean the, as I said, there's trucks or something. Oh. I apologize, there was like a cement truck passing by. All right. Anyways, this is your soldering iron. So you can change these tips out. This is kind of loose because of the heat sometimes, the heat expansion. This tip, you see it's kind of silver, it gets dirty. But this is how you can clean it. And then you need to put fresh solder on there so that it stays clean. We'll be back to harass me later. All right, sounds good. And then I have a sponge here. The purpose of the sponge is to cool off the tip, because I soaked it in water, so it's to cool off the tip so that the solder will harden on there and stay there. You'll see once we get into it. Now, I can turn that on, but I just want to make sure we're ready. So I need to grab flux, which is we put on to help let the solder flow, makes it easier to work with, makes it easier to remove or put on. And we also need our solder. So I have my flux and I have my solder. Now the flux this is what it looks like. It comes in different forms. You can get syringes or whatever, but I have a tub because I was using it a lot. So I have a tub. Just a tub of flux. This is just no clean. And then we have our 0.6 millimeter solder, which I think also has a little bit of flux in it, but normally it's good to just have more. Now flux is very like kind of almost greasy, so it kind of gets stuck in on your hands, and it's very hard to clean off your hands unless you like use like a strong soap, like a dish soap, not even like a hand soap. You need like a dish soap to clean your hands. So it is a little annoying, but yeah. So I'll have this here because we'll need to burn this, or need to heat it up like this. We'll heat it and it'll melt. Now I think I'm gonna change my shirt actually. I kind of don't want to do it in the shirt. 1 second. Okay, so I'm just using like a random throwaway shirt here. Okay, now let's get into it. Now this is what the fan's gonna sound like. It might be kind of loud. The feet on the fan are kind of... There we go. So let's see. Okay, you might hear it when I talk. So, yeah, you'll hear it when I talk, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll lower my seat as well. Got the fan, and we'll get our fan behind me as well. My door's open. Sorry, the audio is going to be kind of rough here because, again, there's just a lot of fans and things going. But that's just the way it is. So, I got the power button here, so I'll turn that on. You'll see that this lights up. It tells me what temperature I want it at. You can choose. I'm going to do 375. Normally, the stuff that they use from the factories for electronics like this it is like proper like lead solder, so it is relatively high melting point compared to like some of the lead-free solder that you can buy, which is what I get. So we'll let that heat up. I gotta get my flush cutters ready too. Here are my flush cutters. So these are just I'm gonna use these to snip this if I need to. And then I need what's called like a solder sucker. Now you could get solder like copper, like a wick kind of deal. Oh, this is kind of a little bit dirty, not gonna lie. Let's see if I can. Okay, he's kind of gunked up in there. And this like rod is what solder sticks to, so I need to clean that really quick. And I'm running low on isopropyl alcohol, but you know what? It's alright. So a little bit of isopropyl alcohol there. It's super gunked up inside there too. Sorry, this camera has like a pretty low focal range, so or whatever, so it just doesn't do the best. I will use. I'm gonna use to clean. Maybe I'll use something's right here. Use one of these metal things I have. It's the reason I should have cleaned this out beforehand, but let me move this away. But we need this to be kind of clean so that it creates a good suction for when it needs to suck the solder off the joints or the solder points on the board. And then we also need to kind of clean out this one too. All right. Is that just a ring, or is that supposed to be like that, or is that just solder? That's just a ring of solder? It is just a ring of solder. Yeah, it's just a ring of solder. Nice. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like an O-ring or something. A rubber ring. Gasket. Gotta clean this thing again. So now we get this back in here. Yeah, that's a bit better. Not perfect. There's a little bit of resistance at the top end, but it's still sucking, so that's fine. Make my trash can as well. Okay, we've got our trash can. Now, should have did this over the trash, but it's okay. This over to my trash can at the edge here, and then... Okay. Clean. So our soldering iron will be truly well and hot right now. Well and truly hot. Now, this will like burn something. Now, since this is a silicone mat, it's very heat resistant. It won't damp anything, but you still have to be careful about touching yourself and other things and places you don't want it to touch. So that's important to take care of. Now this thing, I'll try and get it pretty close here. So we're gonna start melting the solder now. So you see, if I melt it, there's gonna be smoke, but the smoke is going towards the extraction fan. So I'm just kind of getting that all around. And then I'm gonna put it on the sponge. Get it all around. And the reason why I'm going over the sponge is to cool it on the tip so that it conducts heat better. And then we'll scrape it a little bit. And now you can see it's pretty nice and silver, shiny. What you want. We'll leave that for a second. Where's my solder? A little rudimentary, but I have just like a kind of like a popsicle stick, basically. A wooden stick to spread this solder. There's like a hair on it. There's like a cat hair on it. Classic. Oh, I'm not used to doing this with the mic in the way, so it's a little bit odd. But I'm gonna just spread this on top of the I'm gonna spread this on top of this on all these solder points that I need to remember. These are the 4 solder points that I need to desolder in order to remove this scroll wheel encoder. And so we're just gonna cover those up really nice like that. It's right here. And now I don't claim to have perfect soldering technique or anything like that, so don't judge if anybody actually does, but you know, whatever. So if you guys aren't going to be able to see too well here, so I apologize, but basically I'm just going up against this, getting it hot, and then I'll put this here, and we'll try and suck off the solder. You see all the smoke is puffing up now. Okay, that was pretty good. That sucked a good amount of the solder off. It's like smoking a little bit. Kinda. Can't see. This is the solder point we just did, so it's still a solder connected to it, but I definitely got rid of a lot of it. And just the way these solder things, these mounting kind of points work, they kind of are wider so that they kind of lock in and it's hard to get them out. So at this point, I'll probably just have to clip this flush with the flush cutters. But I just want to get most of it off so we can do that, and it puts less bend and force on the motherboard when I do that. Now the ones that have like power and everything, those ones will be easier to they'll be easier to just get like 99% of the solder off of. It's mainly just the mounting ones that are hard. But we'll just work our way down here. So we gotta scrape our soldering iron here. Also, hey, what's up, Mac? And we gotta get a little bit more solder so we conduct heat well. Boom. All right. Like I said, I'm sorry you guys can't really see very well. It's just I can try and zoom in the camera too for you guys. Oh. So yeah, you can't really see very well at all because of the focus. I apologize. But if I like go here, does it? Yeah, it doesn't. The focus is meant for like to be like more out here because of the way the cam is for like face cams and stuff. I took a good amount of the solder off there, but it's still kind of like flat in there. It's not like quite empty, so I'll have to go through and add more solder here to get it to all heat up. And let's sit there for just a little bit to really make sure it's all hot. And then there we go. That was a little bit better. I'd say probably like 70% of it is off. Sometimes you just have to do it at the right angle. There are other ways of like getting the solder off, but it just kind of depends. It's kind of hard for me to use like the soldering wire or solder wick because it's just, I don't know. I struggle with it. Yeah, that one's giving us trouble, so it's fine. Let's just move on to one of the next ones and we'll see. Like I said, it depends on the direction. Sometimes. Like that one was better already on the first try. So, and this one's kind of weird because it's next to the solder point, so I have to kind of do it from this side. But then I get solder on the other one again. Yeah, so it's just a little bit of an ongoing battle here. And I have to remember to not let the board get too hot here. So, yeah, not perfect right now, but it's alright. Let's we're just gonna cool off the board real quick in front of the fan just to make sure it's not getting too hot. I don't think it is actually very hot right now though. Yeah, it doesn't feel too hot. Alright. So what we'll do is we're gonna clip this mounting point here. This mounting point on the outside. I'm gonna point this away from myself and so it doesn't fly into my eye or something. I'll make sure you don't have any of those little metal bits or solder bits hanging out on your board at the end of the day, because that can cause a short and potentially damage whatever you're working on later, or once you're done. So let's just prepare the soldering iron again. And then we're gonna go for the other mounting point. Just gonna try and work wherever we can to try and see whatever we have success with. Oh, that one I put a whole lot of solder, probably more than I needed to, honestly, so. There we go, that was a good one. So we got a good amount of the solder off there. I can see clean through on one side of it. That's just how it is. It's just like one side of it's going to be better than the other. So we clipped it. That hopefully will make it easier for us to pull out. We got to work on those 3 connection points again, though, because those ones are still on there. And you kind of have to work from one side to the other. If you try and do like the one on one side, one on the other side, then the one in the middle is going to get messed up again, so. Okay, that one was really good. Actually, not so good. It was okay. Like I said, you know, we might not do this too quickly because it's still tricky. Okay, hey, that's perfect. Okay, that one, it's kind of hard to see. I gotta keep this. Gotta be safe with your soldering iron. Yeah, you can't see, but I did like a solid hole on that one. Like, it just went straight through. So that one's like pretty much clear of soldering iron, which is really good. Or soldering. Solder. Alright. So what I want to do is I want to come to the right of that one because I don't want to get any more solder on it. I just want to be careful not to add any solder to that point that I worked on, so that I can clear out the other points. And that one, yeah, I only did like one side of it there. It looks like I'm having issues with getting the other sides. So it's I need to let it heat longer, and I also just need to kind of be more on it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. A little bit of a struggle bus with them when it comes to this one here. Try the outer one again. Heat it for a nice long time. Alright. I'm not sure if this will be enough to wiggle it out, but we'll see. You don't want to throw it into a wall for 50 gifted? Hell no. What the fuck? Is that even enough to buy a new mouse? 50 gifted? Like, that's not even enough to buy a new mouse. So this is kind of warm right now. It's not quite... Yeah, it's not quite enough for us to wiggle it out there. But what we can try and do as well is we can try and heat up these side ones again and try and like push them in a little bit to get them a little bit less against the wall here. It'll make it a little easier to get it out, hopefully. Alright, I'm just gonna let the board cool off a little bit, put it in front of my fan over here. Now this is not gonna take as long as it did my first time doing this, because I had to actually remove it from a different board, and then I had to put it onto this one. It was my first time doing it on these boards, so I was a little scared, but I've been more confident now that I know that if I'm not getting the solder off, I can just kind of clip the ends and take it off, since I'm not going to be saving the part anyways. Yeah, it's not really wanting to wiggle out, but we did manage to get the this mounting point a little bit more centered, and so that is going to help a lot. So we're going to do the same thing with this other side here. It's important to also try not to like heat up any other components that you don't want to heat up, because you could potentially remove components on accident, or just overheat them and break them. So you have to be careful where you're laying this soldering iron. So a lot of little components. Yeah, this one's gonna be kind of tricky. Yeah, this one's not gonna be fun. Very, very not fun on this one. Now, sometimes you can have like stands that help you hold this in place. I don't have one of those, but yeah, this one's gonna be annoying. So I think now I need to add more flux because it's not running very well anymore, the solder. And what I mean by running is kind of like you apply heat, but only like some of the sections of it want to like heat up, and it doesn't really want to move. So if you apply flux, it'll help it. And you can't really overdo the flux. I mean, you can, but like more is, you know, good. I also got to clean up this iron tip. It's all black and burned up from all the solder. Alright. So making sure that gets nice and hot. And then... Okay. Not the worst there. Could be a bit better, but yeah, there's still a good chunk of solder on there. to be honest. And I accidentally got solder in one of the other points. It's it's possible I'm using too large of a solder tip as well, but I don't think that's really the issue. Sometimes it's just hard. This isn't like always the easiest thing to do. Takes multiple tries sometimes. And what I'm gonna do now is just try and like bend these pins a little bit more in the center so they don't, so the flux has a harder time trying to grab on to the walls and attach, which worked out pretty nicely there. That one's good. I know you guys can't see very well, so again, I apologize. I can only bring my camera so low, and it doesn't have an like an adjustable focus really. Got like a fixed aperture, so it's just kind of. I'm getting to the point where I just kind of want to clip these ends, and that might make it easy, so we'll do that. This isn't typically what you want to do, but since we're not saving this part or anything, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. And I can't really flex this board too much. I can't really bend it back and forth, because if I do, the board is like, you know, it's an odd shape, so it flexes a good bit. That metal piece off of there. If I can clip more of this off too, it'd be good. The more I can clip off of these, the better. Oh, you know what? I remember what I did now. So, you see how there's like all this metal right here? I kind of like just clip that off, because it's not like attached to anything right here. It's just like a little, it's the support. And I think that helped me remove it a lot. So we're going to do that as well. Like I said, this is not the proper way of doing it, so don't judge me. It's just that I've found that I am particularly struggling when it comes to this this component on this board. The way they are mounted, the way they are like designed, it's just, I don't have the best luck doing it. I'm trying to be careful to not, I'm not trying to clip it all in one go. I'm just trying to weaken the metal a little bit, because I don't want to flex the board too much, but I am trying to support the board with my finger as well. And these flush cutters are not. Okay, I don't love the way that's coming out like that, but it's not wanting to clip because my flush cutters are a little bit dull, but it's kind of forcing the joint to come out in a bit of a not the nicest way. Okay, it came out. You can see it's a little crooked now. It kind of came out right there. So we'll go to the other side, if possible. If I clip higher up, maybe it might be easier. But maybe we can just wiggle out a bit more now. Oh, there we go, yeah. So we're just kind of wiggling it out now. Don't need to rush this. Just kind of low force. There we go. We got it done in the end. In the end, so it's fine. Yeah. So there we go. Now, I do need to clean up one of these holes because it has a little bit of extra solder in there. Might be able to just put one of the tips of my... Nah, it's kind of in a weird spot. Let's use tweezers here. Yeah, so we're going to need to take the soldering iron really quick and just apply a little bit of heat to it to try and get the solder to leave. So you can see that I've kind of closed the hole now, that big silver hole right there, that silver spot. I'm going to now take it all out. It might be, let's see. Okay, there we go. You can kind of like pull it out sometimes almost because of the heat. It just all wants to come out together. And so you can see now all those holes are empty. They don't have any solder in them, which makes room for us to put in the new one. The new what I have here. What's up, Tess? Welcome back. So we have removed the scroll wheel encoder and we need to put it in. Now, I wonder if there's a way for me to feel this one without having to install it yet, because they have different levels of like force to them and like the way that they scroll. Now I wish I wasn't doing this with like my dirty hands, but it's okay. Oh yeah, I can just feel it like this. Okay. I wish I could, you know. This one's pretty tactile. Takes a little bit of force, but honestly I feel like it feels pretty close to what I had before. Let's try the other ones real quick. So I had the dust-free golds, the dust-free silver / whites, and then I don't remember what the other one is. I'm probably not going to use that one because it's not a dust-free one. But let's try the the gold has maybe a little bit more like click to it, so I think I kind of like the silver / white more. Yeah, it's definitely a little softer. I don't need like really hard clicks in there. It's not like hard, but it's just a little bit harder than the silver / white. So we'll do the silver / white. Now, so you see, I need to put these 4. I have the 2 mounting pins plus the 3 connections, like the power, ground, and data, whatever. And I also need to put in I need to line them up. I need to bend these in a little bit. And I'm supporting the board as I push it in because I don't want to flex the board. And there it is. It's in. And now just because it's in doesn't mean it's connected, though. We need to solder the connections back on the underside, just like the way they were with the other one that I did. So, and when I'm doing this, you can see we have to make sure that it's straight. We don't want it bowing forward or bowing back. We want it to be straight. We have to make sure that when we're doing it, we have that lined up and straight. You can adjust it once it's soldered. It's just a little bit more annoying to do. So as long as it's flat, you're pressing it flat, then it'll be straight. And so when you're mounting things, it's important that you use flux, because that is like, yeah, flux is pretty important when you're mounting stuff, because it just means the flux will go to where you need it to go. We'll grab on quickly and it'll create a nice, strong solder joint. Prepare our soldering iron again. It's good. Now I will get some flux. Like I said, more is better, so we'll just kind of cake it on there. Now, soldering on stuff is pretty easy compared to removing stuff. So I'm just gonna really cake that on there real good. Technically, it's no clean flux, but you pretty much always want to clean off the flux because it's, like I said earlier, it's kind of greasy and kind of gets a little, you know, and you want to clean up your, you know, clean up the flux. It just makes it cleaner. All right. So let's get to it. We're gonna do the solder joint or the mounting point first. My hands are like shaky as hell right now. All right, I need more solder. And that looks straight to me. Do the other mounting point. Okay, those are good connections. I'm just gonna, since the part has a lot of metal in it, it conducts the heat a lot, so it's getting a little hot on my fingers, but also I just kind of want to make sure the board doesn't get too hot again. So it doesn't get damaged, because all these components, just like your PC components, they have a certain heat that they can work up to. And so if you exceed that heat, then you're going to damage melt components or just fry them, or they just won't work properly. So with such a small board, that means that the heat will travel relatively quick. Not like super fast, but I am at 375 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty hot. You just want to make sure that, you know, there's no rush. You can take your time, cool it off, and then do the next. Now, I would bring it closer for you guys to see, but like it's just my hands are shaky, so if I'm in the air, it's a little hard. I do need more flux here. This solder already has like flux. It's like flux core, so it has a flux in it already to help it run. But still, it just makes my life easier. Okay, they're pretty much all connected. I just want to make sure this last one is kind of... Nice. Yeah, that's all good now. That is connected. I think it's straight too. It looks like it's like a smidge crooked, maybe? We'll just have to see right now when we try and put it together. Let's use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to clean the board and hands. Hey, what's up, Dino Dog? How's Astroneer going? I guess technology stream. Yeah, technology. Now, isopropyl alcohol doesn't clean the solder or the flux too well, but it does an okay enough job for the time being. And it certainly does an okay enough job for just cleaning the board. Not gonna be perfect, but then I can also let me get some Q-tips real quick. Those are nice to have. Technologia. All right. So you see, these are nice because you can just kind of go in here and clean. You just have to be careful not to go against anything too abrasive, because then the Q-tips will start to break apart and they'll just get strands of Q-tip everywhere. So you just be careful not to like pull it and get it caught on anything. I mean, I think that's relatively straight. It's like a little crooked because of the way I had to bend the pin to get them in there, because they were just a little bowed outward, so now it's bowed inward a little bit. But I think that it's like within tolerance, to be honest. So we've just got to see if we can put this in here and line it up, and I mean, that's in there. Sorry, that was kind of off camera, but that's in there. Soldered. See all those 5 solder points? They're all in there. Soldered in. You have to make sure that also all the solder points are like they're not connected to each other. The solder isn't bridging, or else it won't function properly, or I think you potentially could break it. But it's all straight. It's all in there. Feels good. And while I'm in here, I just want to check, make sure there's no dust, really. It's pretty good. So now we got to clean up. And so what I'm doing here is just, again, I am going to get some solder on my soldering iron, clean it of any kind of corrosion, turn that off. So it's going to cool off. It'll have the nice protection of the solder so that the soldering iron doesn't... it just increases the longevity of your soldering iron, basically. And now we just clean up. I gotta wipe off my flux popsicle stick here. That is good. Cap off our flux here. This almost acts like a sealant in a way, where then it just kind of creates like a vacuum, and then as you push it, it creates pressure. And just kind of hard to close it, but there we go. We're gonna toss the old scroll wheel encoder. I can push this in to see this little tip that comes out of the end. Let me try and put it behind the napkin. See that little tip? Make sure that doesn't have too much gunk on it. Clean that off, so that next time I don't have to. You see, I already got gunked up from just from this use, so we'll clean it really quick. I don't do soldering stuff too often. I used to do it a lot more when I like modded GameCube controllers. Let's stick this in here and kind of try and grab whatever we can out of here. I'm not gonna do like the perfect job of cleaning this. I just want to have it clean enough. That's good enough for me, honestly. Still nice suction. There you go. That's clean. So put that back in my little toolkit over there. Same thing with all this stuff. This as well. What else? Clean off. This is pretty clean, relatively. Put this away. We can turn off our extraction fan now. I don't know how the audio was for that segment while that was all on, but hopefully it was not too bad for you guys. Clean up. Try to use this one to clean the mat a little bit more. Put the tweezers back. Well, we still need this isopropyl alcohol to clean. Put my board over here. Now, let me try and see if I can grab some of this loose solder and broken pins and stuff here before we start wiping this down. I have my trash can right here. All right. Okay. Now I just pour a little bit of isopropyl alcohol there. And I'll do like the deepest clean, but I just kind of do enough. It is also good to have good ventilation when you're using isopropyl alcohol, because it is pretty strong and it can kind of burn your throat or your nose a little bit if you breathe in too much of it. So I'll have my fan pointed in this direction, and isopropyl alcohol evaporates pretty quickly. As you can see, when I pointed the fan at it, it's starting to just immediately dry, because this is 99%. So it means 99% isopropyl alcohol with just 1% water. So it evaporates rather quickly. Now this is pretty clean. It probably is still slightly greasy, but it's fine. Now I'm going to go downstairs really quick and just wash my hands with dish soap, like Dawn, because that really gets all the the flux off my hands. I think that let's just unplug our stuff over here, and then yeah, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right. I mean, might need that for my mouse. A piece of cheese. All right. What's up, Des? Okay. That's like the best feeling. Getting all that like greasy flux off your hands is. Now my hands are nice and clean. It's just like I don't know. I don't like the way it feels. Okay. So now we have to reassemble. Now we won't fully reassemble. We just need to test. I mean, hopefully I did everything right, so I don't have to, like, you know, bring all that stuff back out, but I'm pretty confident that everything's fine. So, you kind of, with this board, kind of tricky to get it in, but you have to kind of tilt it. Kind of have to, like, tilt it in and get it in, because you have this USB-C port that sits right underneath the scroll wheel. And there's a little port in the shell. It's kind of hard to see, like right here. There's this little channel, this little kind of hole here, and that's where you would like plug in to charge or whatever. And you have to like, there's a clip in here too. It's hard to, I can't really show you. There's a clip in here that like it's easy to get stuck on. So you need to like really get it in and then like tilt it. It's kind of just tricky to get in. I've put my mouse together one time and had the USB-C not perfectly aligned, so I couldn't charge it. So I had to unscrew it, take it apart, and fix it. So you learn from your mistakes, from experience, and since this thing doesn't really stay in its own very well, it's a little bit tricky. It's just how it is normally. This is a little, like I said, this is a bit, there we go. I had too much of an angle on it. So it might look like, oh, it's on. It's not on. Like you get the USB-C port is like not lined up. You barely see it there. It's not lined up though. Like it's lined up, but it's not like in there correctly. I have to like kind of pull it back, push it down and in. And there we go. Now it's in. Now I have to kind of press into those clips that we released it from in the beginning. Pull that clip out. There we go. Make sure all the screw holes are lined up. Everything's flat. Now it's in. Now everything is lined up. Our eyeless mice should be called hamsters because they have no tail. What? Oh, I have a little bit of flux on the... I have a little bit of flux on the top of my top of this encoder. Clean that off. There's also a little bit of flux still on top of one of these little chips here, these little capacitors or whatever it is. Okay. I'll put this in front of the fan to make sure nothing is there's no like isopropyl on it, which I didn't really put much isopropyl on it. I wish it would have evaporated by now. And then since it's 99%, that means there's very little water in it, which is a very low risk of shorting it because of the water in it conducting electricity. So it looks like that slight bit of crookedness on this doesn't matter. Like barely. It's like off by like a degree or two. It's so minor. So I'm going to screw one of these. Where's my where did I put it? Where did I put my... Oh, it's right there. We're gonna screw these the board in. First this one here. Like I said, I think I was supposed to have three, another one here, but I don't know what happened to it. I lost it at some point. And then we will put the little battery plate on as well. Now this one has like a little like a little thing that protrudes out here, and it's actually just not a screw hole, but it's like a post that matches up. It like gets keyed in with this kind of spot here, so it just goes like that. And we'll put this screw. That doesn't go through the keyhole, right? It goes through like this one over here, because that also screws down the board and screws down that plate. And before we put the battery in, let's try and put this ribbon cable in. Okay, there we go. That was much easier than the first time I did that. I did not enjoy putting in that that ribbon cable. It was I'll tell you what, that was not a fun time. I'm trying to. So this one is like you have all these like posts here. You have like all these posts, and you have to kind of slide it in between. There's like a slot. See, like right there, there's like a kind of a channel that you can pass through. So no, I think I have to. I think I'm too far up. I'm too far forward. Okay, there we go. Okay. Nice. That's all on there now. Now we'll put the battery on. We'll just kind of place it right on top of that plate. Push it in a little bit so the adhesive sticks, and then we'll plug in the battery. Now, oh, you know what? I forgot to. We can put these on now. The mouse clicks. The switches. I'm pretty sure they go in this way. Now, thankfully, I don't think I need to have this board off the... Yeah. They just kind of... They're just two clips on the underside. There we go. Now the switches are on too. And then we're not going to put the top on yet. We're going to test it. We're going to test, make sure the scroll wheel works. So I'm going to plug in the wireless adapter so I don't have to plug in the cable. And then we're going to power it on. We have the power button here. Okay, it's working. Now, I won't test it until I show you guys the screen, so let me press the little... There we go. Okay, that was a little hard to press. All right. Da-da-da, the moment of truth. It's not working. Hold on. Let me refresh the page. Can I refresh the page? This was unexpected. Wait, it scrolled, though. Oh, it's because it did that scroll. Hmm. Why is it not working? Weird. Hmm. I'm not gonna lie, now I'm stumped because I don't know why it wouldn't be working. You see, it's supposed to do something when I'm in there, and it's not scrolling at all here either. I mean, let's shut it off. Let's turn it back on again. I doubt that's going to do anything. The thing is that I didn't damage the mouse because it's working fine. So it's either for some reason these are not compatible, which would be weird to me why it's not compatible, because I did research on it too. Okay. So, let me turn my mouse cam back on. All right. Why is it? What's it not working, bro? All right. We're going to have to check out the solder joints, I guess. I mean, none of them were connected, so I don't... I'm very confused. Especially since I've done this before in the past. I've replaced it, and I had no issues. So either it's just a dud, it's just dead, which would be really annoying. I don't know. So let's see. Let's remove the ribbon cable again. Ribbon cable removed. I would like to not have to resolder and solder stuff, but I mean, at this point, I don't know what else I would be able to do to get it to function properly. So. Yeah, let me see. What is that? Wow. Is that really why it's not working? That sucks. So you know how I was saying, I was like, so you gotta make sure you don't touch anything with your components, any hot components, or touch anything to make the components hot. There is a little piece over here, up here, like a capacitor or something. That I think I just killed. Oh no, that's a trace. That's such. Oh, I love that. That's even better. What the f... That's even better. Where does that trace even go? Yeah. I mean, the mouse still works. But I don't even... Where's that trace go? It goes onto this. I mean, if there's any chance of me fixing this, the evil corporate overlords are using a magic mouse no worky spray to make you buy another mouse. Yeah, right. Well, it kind of sucks because this is the second time I'm doing this, and the first time I did it fine. Not broken tech on Christmas. It's not that it was broken. It's, I mean, it's just not. It was just like only the scroll wheel was broken, but now this shit is. Yeah, so there's a very small chance I fix this. I mean, infinitesimally small. Like, I mean, I have to solder the tiniest wire here. Let me see, which trace is this? Hold on. So this trace goes... Okay. So this... So you see I peeled up this little wire. Oh my god, it's hard for you to see. A paper towel or something? See this little trace that I pulled up right here? On the end of it is like some type of capacitor, I think. And so that goes to this third solder point. Not the mounting, because the mounting doesn't have any connections. It's just the third. So what I'm gonna try and do, we're gonna get a little crafty here, is we're gonna get a wire. And we're gonna take a wire this to that. There's a little like pad right here that is where the capacitor was sitting. And yeah. Sometimes capacitors, I don't know, sometimes you need capacitors, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the capacitors don't actually do too much. Depending. Sometimes you can survive without it. So, yeah, unexpected turn of events here. We'll see. We'll see. So that means we gotta solder a little bit more. I gotta get some wire as well. Let me get some wire. I mean, if I can fix this, that'd be kind of insane. But yeah. What color wire should we use? Should we do red? Actually, let's do green, or like a teal. I like teal more. Oh, this is rather like chunky wire. But I don't think it'll mess up for the mounting and stuff. We're gonna take some wire. Green. We're gonna take some wire stripper here. So I just used it to expose the wire there. I forgot what this tool is called, but so yeah. Anyways. And let's see the length that we need. Basically need to come across. It's not too far. So I've got both ends exposed now. Turn on our fan, turn our soldering iron. Well, actually, they're not plugged in. Okay, now they're plugged in. I just love this. I love this. One little mistake, guys. You see, that's how. Now, I'm not gonna completely get rid of this little wire in the event that for some reason I actually just do need to solder this. Thing is, it's kind of hard to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll test it before we put it together, like, at all. We'll just test it like this afterwards. I probably should have left this longer so I could just easy to manage, but it'll probably be okay. It is already longer than it needs to be. We don't really need... I guess we need a tiny bit of flux, but you know what I'll end up doing? Yeah, it's just from when I made controllers. So what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit on the tip of this wire instead of fluxing up the whole board. And hopefully that'll be good enough. Do my soldering. Solder. Get this nice and close. Is this hot enough yet? Yep. Need to kind of twist this wire so it doesn't fray. Okay, that's connected there. Hold on. I think I need flux. This would be a big clutch up if I can do this. Not gonna lie. I've never done a repair like this on such a small wire. But thankfully I can actually see where the trace goes. If I could not see where this trace went, I would have been absolutely cooked. I mean, I might still be cooked, but you know. We'll see. Okay, that is attached, but it's like... I'm not sure how confident I am about this. So, we'll just see. If it works, then hog. If not, I got money for my birthday, so maybe I'll just have to buy a new mouse. Or I'll buy another one off, I'll buy another Viper V2 off like Amazon or something. Or just a board. I mean, they're like 25 bucks, so it's like not a big deal. You know, it is a little unfortunate, but not a big deal. And, you know, you live and you learn. It's okay. Trying to be positive, you know? So, yeah. Let's just give it a go. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna very rudimentarily just... Oh, actually, though, how am I gonna... I could move my thumb with the sensor, maybe, and that might make it... Yeah, we'll just try that. We'll try to control the mouse with my thumb here. Power button is like this like silver button down here, so we'll just kind of power it on. Okay, it's on. Okay, it is on the thing, and can I? Oh, that's my other. That's not the scroll wheel, by the way. That's just my... Let me just plug in my girlfriend's mouse real quick so I can turn off the giant mouse cam for you guys. Okay. And let's unplug it now. I've unplugged it. You can hear it. Doo-doo. No, it passed. It was on the 15th. It was 2 days ago. All right. Okay, now I gotta move it over. Okay, hold on, hold on. Let me just plug in my mouse, my girlfriend's mouse again. So I can move it, I can move the cursor over to this. Thank you, dude. No worries. Hello? Okay, sorry guys. I accidentally pressed the power button on my computer when I was trying to plug in the cable in the front of my computer. So now you guys can hear me. But I need to turn things back on. So mouse cam. Okay, we're here. Now let me try and look at chat. Let me try and get a pop out for chat. Because it's broken on OBS now. Please let me know that you guys can hear me. Please let me know that you guys can hear me. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. You open... Okay. All right. I apologize. Okay. Let's try this again. I need to open this program or this page for a fractal glider for the mouse scroll wheel tester. Let's remove this. I don't want that Google Chrome tab showing. Okay, we'll just do this one. I can't see chat right now, but we'll just... Moving my mouse over to the screen here. Scroll wheel. Oh! I read something for a second. What? Oh, maybe not. Is it just because this mouse is connected? Maybe. Does it really need that capacitor installed on it? It's kind of annoying. I'm gonna have to look at chat through my Did you miss it? Yeah. I like fucked up my... I accidentally like went to turn off my computer. It was dumb. Okay. So that didn't work. It feels like it needs that capacitor. Which is a little shitty. So let me try and let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. No, I want to have the battery connected, bro. Okay. Okay, so I can tell that this trace goes there. I think is, I don't know if it really needs that, if it needs that capacitor or not. Trying to straighten out this wire here. Shaky ass things. Okay. Let's just crimp this again. Or not crimp it, but strip it. There we go. I'm just thinking maybe I didn't get the connection quite right and it was making connection to something else, maybe. And so hopefully if I just get it right, it'll be okay. Okay, that was a pretty clean one. That was good. So let's move this mouse cursor over here. Plug in the power. I'm just gonna test it. If it works, I'll let you guys know, and then I'll put it on screen. Oh, I gotta. Does not work. I wonder if it's because the other side of the wire is kind of touching something else. I don't know if that's like a ground. It just doesn't make sense if that would be ground. So. Okay. I mean, that's a little bit neater. So we'll see. Yeah, let's try again. A little annoying, but cursor down. Gotta plug in the battery again. It's on. Moving, so it's not. Yeah, the scroll wheel's not. Definitely no bridged solder points anywhere. I don't see anything that's like else that's like. Anything else that should be connected? Just really surprised at that one capacitor not being there is causing an issue. But I can't tell exactly how that capacitor was in there. I can't tell like if it was connecting two different points and I just can't see the second point. Or what? It's not like I had a functioning scroll wheel to begin with, so it wouldn't be much of a difference for me. It's just... I think, man. I can't even see where this trace goes afterwards. Like, if I could just send it straight to somewhere else. I can just, like, bypass it. My cat's just trying to... Not the place you want to be, my dude. Time is it? Almost 1:30. Okay. See something? I don't even know if I can, like, solder suck that small of a point there. Like, it's so tiny. Like, I can't even, like, my hands are shaky, like, I can't even, there's, like, no way. I mean, I kind of did. It's just, like, not... Alright. I'm wondering if I can just bypass it. I can just bypass it onto this capacitor. Alright. I mean, this is not a stable connection in the slightest, but at least it's connected, so we'll see. I'm just trying at this point. Trying anything. Cat. Just this thing on. Not on. Okay, now it's on. Hey, it's actually working. Yo. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy work, my guys. Okay, hold on. There's no fucking way. Alright. Check it, check it. Watch this, watch this. I'm putting it in. Hold on. Okay, move my... I'm not doing this with my, like... I'm not doing this with my girlfriend's mouse. Okay, look. It's working. Let's go. Okay. That's right. Your streamer, yours truly, fixed his mouse, but actually broke it, but then actually fixed it. Cause I'm goated. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Just to prove to you, look, I have my girlfriend's mouse there. I'm going to move it just so I can get it over to the window, right? You see it right there. And now my hand is off that, right? Scrolling up, down. Look, it's working, bro. Okay, we did it. I will show you how I fixed it, and we're not gonna touch it because it's fine. It's fine. It's just, it's fine. We're not gonna touch it. It's fine. I mean, that's on there. Like, I don't know, like, what, if anything, would really pull that off of there. Like, it's on there. It's like, that's so funny. Okay. Let me fix the cam for you guys so you can see. Uh, this is hilarious. Fully scuffed. All right. I gotta fix my soldering iron in a second, but so look at this shit. I got a wire connected from the third point on the third solder point here, connected to. So we accidentally stripped a wire and capacitor from a little soldering point, like right here. But there's two capacitors above there, and I chose the one on the right because I think that's the one that it went to afterwards. So I think it went from that third point. The trace followed, goes over here, goes to a capacitor, then goes to another capacitor. So I just skipped this whole route to this capacitor and just sent it over to the next one. And that's how we get a functioning mouse that we broke ourselves. I mean, my mouse was broken, so I had to fix it. But I think you're talking about the whole wire thing. But yeah. Let's go. Okay. Unplug the battery. Set that aside. And we'll sort that out in a second. We gotta clean up again. Clean up numero dos. You guys already saw me do this, but I'm just gonna clean. Yep, cleaning the soldering iron here. Shut it off. Leave the fan on for a little bit to extract any additional fumes. We're gonna close that, or speed run this. Close. Still wait. Her wire stripper. We will assemble the mouse shortly. Oh god, that's got all types of flux on it. There we go. I wish you could see my OBS is just like so screwed because I accidentally pressed the power button and then was able to press escape to stop it shutting down. It's like I can't see any chat, I can't see any stats. I'm looking at chat on my phone. Thankfully I can still see how many people are watching because I was able to restart up my my widgets on my stream deck so I could see that at least. We gotta clean the mat again. And I gotta go wash my hands again. I wish I had conformal coating. Conformal coating is like it's a special coating that you can put on boards for repairs just like this, so that you can cover up the exposed wires so that you don't potentially have any shorts and things like that. But I don't have it, so it's just maybe I'll put electrical tape, a little bit of electrical tape on top of it, and we'll just have to. That'll have to do. So I'll probably do that. I gotta go wash my hands though, so I'll be back. I don't think... I don't think you guys realize how tiny that soldering was too. Like, that was tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. It was like smaller, like fractions smaller than a grain of rice there. I'd say that's probably like a fifth the size of a grain of rice to the capacitor that I just soldered to. That shit was wild. I'm just cleaning up the area a little bit so that when I put the electrical tape on here, it'll oh, I gotta rip this wire out. This old wire. GG's. Alright. Clean over here as well. There's a little bit of like factory goo. I think we're probably fine with this wire being where it is because it will I don't think there's anything that will put any pressure on it. I'm pretty sure looking at the... Yeah, it looks like there's just an empty void underneath, so I should be able to lay it flat. Just like kind of fold it over and it'll be fine. Electrical tape. Sorry, took me a second to find my electrical tape. Here it is. We just need the smallest amount. But what I'll do... take a little bit off. My scissors. I'll just cut it. My skizzers. My dull-ass scissors. And... then I will take my blade here and we'll just kind of cut kind of a small square or odd triangle thing, and then we'll get my tweezers. Just kind of lay it on there. Oh, it does not want to stick because of all the freaking flux that's there. Alright. It just wants to go raw, so we're just going to do it like that. I mean, it's not moving. You know, there's like nothing for it to move on. And the cable's pretty stiff because of the solder, so it just... yeah, it's just going to have to be like that. Let's put the mouse switch back on, because the mouse switch has to go right above it. So... mouse switch on. That's what it looks like. I don't think it's gonna be an issue underneath, and we will give it another test to make sure that once it's in, it doesn't have any issues. I'm gonna lay it in, and then you're gonna tilt it. It's always this USB-C port, trying to get this USB-C port to like... Okay. There we go. I think we got it. Click, click. Good. Okay, it's in. Yo. What's up, AFAS? I gotta read chat on my phone because my OBS bugged out. EV solutions, buy new one? Nah. If you buy new ones, then how are you gonna learn shit? You know? How are you gonna learn? Alright. I can't even see if anybody is typing Twitch chat. I apologize if anybody's in Twitch chat. I just can't see it. Anyways. Let's just, before we do the ribbon cable again, let's just plug this in. Because it's underneath here, right? The wire is underneath this side. So, I'm hoping, you know, it's just fine. Power. Okay, yep, I was able to turn on. Okay, we're fine. And it stopped working again. This is why we have to test it. So clearly something happened to it. So hold on. That's fine. It is okay. We fixed it once, we can fix it again. We just have to figure out where it's unhappy. Now, what if I mean, let's just plug it in again and see if it works now. I'm wondering if it's because we plugged in the switch, the mouse switch. That's very possible. That because I plugged in the mouse switch, it doesn't want to work anymore. Hello? Can you... Hold on. Okay, now it doesn't want to work. Let me see. Oh, wow. Is it really because I plugged in the mouse switch? If I unplug the... If I undo the mouse switch, will it work? That's going to be tragic. Is it on? It's on. Oh no, it's still not working. What happened? What happened? It was literally working before. What? Is it because of that pressure I put on it? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay. I detached it, but I kind of did that intentionally. So it was... The reason why it wasn't working is because it was bridging across to another point there. Okay. It's just a light touch-up. We can do it. It's fine. Fucking Christ. Ah! I swear, bro. I have third time's the charm. It's okay. It's not like a ton of soldering we need to do. We just need to like solder the point back on, but solder in a way that it doesn't make contact with this other point here. So I think I can solder across the other the old capacitor spot, so it's like more straight and not kind of across. Because what's happening is like I don't have. So like I had the wire, right? And the wire is like connected on the end. But it was kind of connected like at an angle. So when it laid flat, what happened was it was making connections with the adjacent capacitor. And then that's why it was I was laying it flat just to keep a low profile inside the mouse, but because it was laying flat, it was making contact with the adjacent capacitor, and that's why it wasn't working. So I just need to make sure that I line it up straight so it doesn't, even if it lays down, it's not gonna make contact with the other capacitor, and everything will be fine. No reason to panic, guys. You know, just have to wash my hands for like the third time. Okay, let's see if that works. Power. I'm having a ton of fun right now. Power. Move my girlfriend's mouse. Do. Okay. Okay, it does not work. It's okay. I didn't think. Okay. Okay, so I think it doesn't like being connected to that one solder spot or with the other capacitor. Okay, what about that? I'm confident in this one. I'm quite confident in this one. This way. Power once again. It's on. Okay, I am not confident anymore. It is not working. I'm curious why it was working before. We can figure this out. It's just you have to figure out what's different. I mean, flux. I also need to cool off the board. It's a little hot. When you saw Dread Live notification, I mean, I made a thumbnail for it and everything, you know? All right. I mean, I don't know about that one. Thing is, I don't know if I have to have two connections there or not, and I don't think I do. That just doesn't make sense. Well, I can just test it from the outside, I guess, right? Yeah, it's not working. Why is it not working? Battery. Remove the battery. What is that little piece of like that? I'm just confused as to what. I think I want to get a new wire. The end of that wire is kind of getting a little bit messed up. It's so annoying. This little thing is like causing such an issue now. All right. Oh, I cut way too much for that side. I want to try and get the smallest amount of wire exposed there. Which side's longer? This side. I need that flux, it's not flowing. Okay. Okay, I'm substantially more wire this time around, but whatever. I mean, let's see if that works. I feel like it's pretty isolated on that one. Like, it's not touching anything. Okay, it's on. Plug it in. Okay, maybe the other side. Still no. Oh, okay. I have not a good feeling about this. I have a very not good feeling about this. Not gonna lie. Because this little capacitor is starting to move. Just a little bit. And with those little capacitors, if it comes off, it's GG's. That's actually... I might have to then try and bypass to somewhere else, and I don't know where the hell else I'm gonna go. So yeah. It's already been looking like GG's. Still no worky. Still no worky. It was working before, man. What's the difference now? That kill this capacitor? The heat? I mean, what happens if I connect it to this over here? Like, I don't know what that is that I connected it to, but it's like, it won't kill anything, so it'll either work or it won't work. So, if it's just further along the line and hopefully it didn't need that the capacitor, then okay, I think it's just a ground. I think it's just a ground pin. What if I connected to this other house? It's connected to the back end of the capacitor, maybe? It's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, this is very unorthodox. I don't know. So. It's just like, it's not working. When I connect, where I connected it before, it's not working anymore. I don't know why. Because it was fine. It's very odd. Oh! Okay, it's working now. But I need to make sure that this is working now, that my left click works. So... Okay, that's scrolling still. Let me go over here, so if I like hold mouse and then I move. Hold mouse 1 and move. Can't. Come on. Get over some text. Oh, okay. It works. And then scroll wheel? And scroll wheel works? If I scroll wheel and I click at the same time? I think it's working. I think it's working. Fuck me. Okay, I'm not gonna put away any of this shit until I know that this works, man. Jesus. 3 round? Yeah, we're at the OG tournament where it's like 1,000,000 rounds. That's where we're at. AFS. Okay, so now this is the orientation that wire is going to sit in. Hopefully the mouse gods accept that. Now, which side is it? It's on the it's on our left click side. Now for the Type C to freaking get in there. Come on, Type C. Please. Blaze. Okay. Type C is in. This little bracket's... Okay, everything's in. And are we still functioning? We're still functioning. And, like, mouse click and drag. Are we highlighting? We're highlighting, and we're doing it all at the same time. So it's not... Okay. Okay. Okay, battery needs the platform. So let's put the battery platform back in. And let's get the screw. It's a roller coaster of emotions every time. And I've gone through it many times. I know I shouldn't be doing this with the battery installed, but it's just, I just want to make sure this thing is functioning at all stages. Okay, I'm just banging it a little bit, just, you know, testing to see. I can actually see it through this little hole right here. I can see the angle it. You're doing okay in there? There's like nothing touching it. Like there's no way anything disturbs it. I can see it. Like nothing will disturb that. It is happy. Shred fix the scroll. Technically breaks everything else. Yeah. Great success. I'm pretty sure. All right, now I'll unplug the battery just for when I have, since I have to plug in this ribbon cable. I don't want to have the battery installed for that. And ribbon cables installed. And now we have to just put the side buttons in, line it up. And that is lined up all good. Sorry, I know I'm kind of like way over here, but it's just like my desk is kind of deep, so. Okay. Now I can plug the battery in again, and we'll test it for the millionth time. On. And we are still scrolling. Like a beaut. Sick. We got... Okay, so we got scroll wheel installed, we got the switches installed, batteries installed, side buttons installed. Yeah. Now it's just for the top shell. And that's just a simple, just a click it in. Click it all in everywhere. Huh. It works. Oh, it's so crisp. It just fucking works, man. Okay, I'll show you guys now. Look at this. It just works. Just works. Look at it. Up. Like. Beautiful. You're waiting to celebrate? I guess as you should. Wait. We gotta do side buttons. Side buttons work. Middle button works. Everything works. I think we're home free, guys. I think. Surely. Did I need to clean up my soldering iron. It's dirty. So we'll fix that in a second. But let's just screw it back together. And then I am never opening this mouse ever again. Ever again. No more weight reduction mods. No more nothing. This guy is on his last legs. I'm just gonna not bother with putting another adhesive. I'm just gonna put it back. It should stick. Just using my shirt. Sorry. You guys aren't even like seeing anything. My bad. Only took 2.5 hours. Okay, you know what? We did the initial repair, quote unquote, pretty quick. And I was even telling you guys how you have to be careful because you could end up accidentally burning a component. And that's what happened. It's just sometimes things happen. Just sometimes things happen. You know? Sorry, I'm like clicking shit with my mouse. Scroll still working. You never know. The one last mouse skate could be the one that breaks it, you know? No, don't land there, please. That's... yeah. Okay, just wiping the... Oh, it works, guys. Not the way we had intended, but it freaking works. Oh my god. Jeez. But you see, guys, wasn't that fun? All the panic and all that, wasn't that fun compared to just buying a new mouse? Why buy a new mouse when you can go through a roller coaster of emotions and panic that you've broken your mouse that was kind of already broken to begin with, and then fix it in the end? Way more fun. Buying new mouse way more fun. I gotta fix my. I gotta clean this. Sometimes just scraping it is enough. Alright. Now we can clean up for the last time. See, this is what I have to resort to because you guys don't want to donate to my channel. You guys don't want to become members. This is what I have to resort to. I have to resort to not buying new mice and instead repairing what I have. Like the broke streamer I am. I'm just joking. Thank you guys for watching though. The mat is pretty much clean. I just don't want to clean it like third time. It's just got like a slight smear of stuff, but it's like already kind of dry. It's fine. Frick, man. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just cleaning up still. Let's unplug my girlfriend's mouse without turning off my computer. Still works. Panic. You know what? This isn't the first time I've had something like this happen with the device where I'm trying to fix it and I break it and then I have to fix it. And I fix it, but I definitely don't ever want to touch it again because it might just stop working. Oh god. So I'm just gonna put my soldering iron in front of my fan so it just cools off faster so I can put it into storage. Put my gigantic desk pad back on my desk here. Keyboard. Sorry, the wrist pad. Horizon pad, and then still works. It still works. Okay. We'll do normal cam, and I gotta adjust this again. I gotta fix this. That's about how I had it, I think. Actually, it's a little bit too it's like around there somewhere. Just close this. we'll open up. Hello, hey Amir, what's up? Yeah, I fixed it. It took a little longer than it was. You know, we ran into some hiccups there, but we fixed it. I know the music stopped. I'm just loading up the finals. I gotta go wash my hands. So while it opens, I'll go wash my hands. Okay, I'm back. Let's go to the practice range. The way Tez just appeared in... Did he join? Did he join me? Fuck. We're just gonna test it for a little bit and then yeah. I feel like my seat's too high. It's a little higher than normal, but okay, there we go. All right. Look at this. I can bunny hop now. I can finally bunny hop. Mouse functions. I can ADS. Look, I can shoot and jump at the same time because remember, it's the soldering I did was underneath the left trigger or the left mouse click button, so I can hold it down and I can scroll at the same time. So it's not messing with any functions here. Everything's working. We're good. It is working! Success! Alright. I think my soldering iron is all cold now, which is good. Put that away. But yeah, look, I can scroll through my settings finally. I can scroll through. Oh my god. Don't click enter. Wow. All right. We did it. Let's go. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I need to go eat some lunch or something. And then we'll be back in like an hour. I'll try and be back by 3 p.m. It's 2:05, 2:06 right now. So I'll try and be back by like 3. And then we'll play some ranked with the guys, with Tez and Killjoy. But thank you guys very much for watching. I know it was kind of crazy. We kind of we went up and we went down. We went up and we went down. So yeah, we fixed it at the end though. And I would appreciate if you guys just like the stream. And yeah, I'm gonna eat some lunch. And I'll see you guys in a short little bit here. Be ready around 3:30. Okay. Always late. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be coming back in like an hour, so don't worry, AFS. We'll be back. We'll be back. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll be back.